All right, welcome back, everybody. Broadcasting from the Liberatore CPA studios. This is Politics and Profits. I'm Rick Amato. Now it's time for our Triple P, the Politics and Profits panel. Pretty fancy stuff. Joining me, as she often does, from Las Vegas is the Reagan Babe, Megan Barth. Megan, good to have you with us.
Thank you so much. Good to be back.
Good to have you. And what is the Reagan Babe?
I was a Reagan baby, and I evolved into a Reagan Babe.
All right, all makes sense. Evolution. Joining us in the studio, as he often does, is radio talk show host in Southern California, Bob Baumer.
Thank you for having me.
And what is a Bob Baumer? Just kidding. Okay, good to see you, Bob.
Good question.
The IRS Problem Solver, Liberatore, joins us again.
Great to be here again, Rick.
Great to have you. All right, first topic, actor Mark Ruffalo. He sends a petition to NBC. He says he wants that network to add more diversity to, quote, stop the white conservative hiring spree. He did so after Megyn Kelly joined NBC, and my longtime friend, radio talk show host, I think you guys each know him, Hugh Hewitt, is now an MSNBC TV talk show host. Let's go to the Reagan Babe. Try it again. The Reagan Babe, Megan Barth. That's hard to say in a sentence. Megan, what's your take on Mark Ruffalo's comments?
Well, like a typical leftist Hollywood actor, he really doesn't know what he's talking about. Megyn Kelly is registered as an independent. Greta Van Susteren is registered as a Democrat. So the only conservative white hiring spree that MSNBC has been on is one, and that's Hugh Hewitt. But one, I guess, is too much for the left because never, like Hillary Clinton said, dissent is patriotic. No more. Our dissent now is considered hate speech, and that's what the left has done to conservative pundits and speakers. They want to shut dissent down in order to continue their narrative.
And you put it in good perspective, Megan, with the political affiliation of both Greta and Megyn Kelly. What I find interesting, Bob Baumer, is I'm all about diversity, but not diversity based upon one's outward appearance. Diversity based upon one's thinking and the content of their narrative. I thought that, isn't it, when you start basing diversity upon one's outward appearance, isn't that narrow-minded in scope?
Well, Martin Luther King went right to that issue. He says, let's judge people on the content of their mind, not the color of their skin. And I agree. In other words, what would he have as the alternative to what he's saying? Hate speech forever?
That's right. That's right. Liberatore, you know what hurt me most about Mark Ruffalo saying this? Is the vowel at the end of his name. He's Italian, like you and me, and he still says this.
I can't believe it, Rick. I mean, everyone's entitled to free speech. I mean, the First Amendment. I mean, let's have different opinions. Let's have some diversity.
There you go. There you go. You know, Megan, I don't know who it was, but I just read recently where someone is complaining about. It was a headline. The headline was, it was a complaint that Hugh Hewitt is Sean Hannity in glasses. Hugh Hewitt is not Sean Hannity, obviously, and he's not Sean Hannity ideologically. Maybe they're both conservative, I get it, but isn't this an example of stereotyping and of narrow-mindedness?
Well, imagine if Mark Ruffalo had said something like, stop hiring black liberals. The outrage would be palpable. It'd
be huge.
What would Juan Williams say?
Interesting thing about Juan Williams, his son is a member of the RNC.
Oh, I'll be darned.
We've interviewed him several times in the past. Moving on, next topic. The Russians are coming, the Russians are coming. The Russians beat the Democrats for the fourth time this year in special elections. The Russians win Georgia. What do you make of that?
It was amazing to me. I think not only that, but the other four elections, 5 Republicans were elected, but the question is, aren't the Democrats waking up to the fact that Americans don't like all this hate speech? They have stopped Donald Trump, or tried to, on every single act he's tried to bring before Congress by hate speech or by just clouding the issues. And Donald Trump hasn't given up, and the people have shown that they don't like the politics that's going on with the Democratic Party.
And that's what the elections show. I agree. Megan, of course, this is yet another victory for the Republican Party in a special election. Is this more proof that Nancy Pelosi is in collusion with the Russians?
Wouldn't that be wonderful to find out? No, this is more proof that the Democrats simply don't have a message except for a message of resist. And in order to win elections, you need to be for something, not just against something. So Nancy Pelosi says she's a great legislator, but she's not really a good leader. She represents kind of the old guard when the new guard wants to go the way of socialism. They believe that running a quote-unquote centrist, like the 30-year-old Ossoff in Georgia, ruined their chances and called for the party to go further left. Well, the further left is the fringe of most of America, but the further left is the Democrat Party. When you look at their platform, there is not much difference in their policies than one that is of socialist ideas and a growing state. They're not about the individual. The Democrats have always been about the state.
All right, let's go to Phil Liberatore. Phil, I mean, this is embarrassing for a Democratic Party.
I think they've just put another dagger in their whole party, Rick. I mean, there's nothing left to them. They've got nothing to stand for. They've got no future at this point.
Have you seen the backup of Nancy Pelosi? I mean, who they have in the wings to replace him? This Perez guy?
No.
Do you know much about this Perez guy, Megan?
Yeah, he is an attorney and a labor activist. I believe he was in the labor position of some sort under Barack Obama. He's definitely a foul-mouthed troublemaker.
Yeah, he throws the F-bomb out there in public speeches, very extreme, and that's their answer to Pelosi. But go ahead, I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, well, he is the answer to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who had to resign in disgrace after she rigged the primary. And so they chose foul-mouthed Perez to lead the party and incite the left-wing radical fringe, which is of the Democrat Party. When you look at the Democrat Party, their coalition are anarchists, socialists, communists, Black Lives Matter, domestic terrorist organizations, etc.
What do you make of Trump's tweet? He's tweeting yesterday, Bob. We're down to less than a minute in this segment, so real quick. He says, keep Pelosi in there. It's good for the Republican brand.
I thought it was great, and it's his sense of humor.
All right, we're going to continue the panel after this. I'm Rick Amato from the broadcasting from the Liberatore CPA studios. Back after this.